Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Charlotte Silver Wolves. Here we go. In our previous episode, we completed another off season, which was both eventful and uneventful in different ways. The first thing that happened in the off season of note is that we brought back Nate Quinn. Nate Quinn decided to test free agency. Turned out he was dead wrong about his actual availability. And we were able to go ahead and acquire him for a relatively cheap salary, which I'm pretty jazzed about. He's been a very good pitcher when given the opportunity. He just needs to stay healthy. What else did we change? We added Yen Chugo, off of the Taiwanese leagues, apparently. Hopefully he can offer a nice bit of thump in the middle of the lineup, which I'm hoping to see. At a pretty reasonable price on top of that. Rest of the lineup is pretty similar to last year's. Ariola is going to come back and play some third base for us. Couples is back. Baltastuzzi is currently our leadoff guy. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm willing to give him a shot. Rotation, we added Eloy Daza, who's actually just meant to be a reliever, but is apparently starting now. We gave Sergio Creo all the money. I think that's a pretty important thing that happened. Is it gonna be worth it? Robbie Reese is somebody that had a pretty small role last season, but is being thrust into the role of the starter this year, while Casey Choate recovers. Bullpen is a lot of old friends for the most part. I still don't know why we won't start Valderrama, but that's okay. He's just a comically overpaid reliever at this point. Mm. How do you feel about this season? I don't know. I truly don't know. If Chuko can be the thumper we've needed at first base for a long time, he's got a lot to like about him. If Zapata can keep aging gracefully, that would be amazing. That would be truly special. But we just need the lineup top to bottom to be the best it can be, and for our young pitchers to keep pitching well. There's a lot of riding on Billy Pickering's right shoulder. Um, I think he's ready for it, but I am somewhat concerned about our rotation until Choate gets back. Choate's gonna want so much fucking money; it's gonna be ridiculous. Mm. Mm. Let's get started. Also, quick shout out. I think I mentioned it last episode, but in case I didn't before, Ariola would actually be a pretty fair center fielder. I see him more as an infielder right now, but if we did decide to get rid of Enfuso, I think he'd be a good replacement. All right, let us simulate until the month of April begins. A player in DFA is already ready. Nice. So Chris Rainey presents an interesting question. I think he's got the potential to be a pretty decent first baseman. I'm just not willing to do it. I could just put him on the 40 man and send him to the Triple A. I guess I could just put him on Triple A because that was an easy decision. I feel better now. I've been playing Dragon Age Guard quite a bit. I actually quite enjoy it. I posted some review thoughts on my Reddit, so if you're not following my subreddit r/Guardian Academy, you can have a look at it there. It's good, and I think you probably would enjoy it if you enjoyed the Dragon Age series. If you didn't like the Dragon Age series before, you're not gonna like it now. I'm just gonna put that out there. We've got some pretty nice mid-tier starting pitching prospects developing, which I'm pretty happy about. It's always good to have as many pitchers as you can get. Um, Luis Medina is nothing special, but he's the kind of guy that I could see maybe getting 5 to 10 starts if things didn't go very well. Chris McMillan is the next big starter for us. He's a long ways away from getting there, but he is getting there. He is making positive movement, and I'd like to see that. If Kevin Romich could catch at all, he'd already be a pretty decent choice. Yeah. Natuno O'Kelly is such an incredible name that I have no further comment about him. We've got some okay players. We're just not seeing the truly elite players developing at the rate we'd like them to develop. Like, you know, some I didn't see at all? I didn't see Darren Heil's name. And Darren Heil is very clearly like the next great player for us. Oh, Grand Oaks High School. That is right down the road from me. I pass by it every day. I come back from the grocery store. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Neat. I guess Grand Oaks. Anyway. I mean, the new guy's leading the league in home runs, so far mission accomplished. I can't help but notice we just finished 4 games in a row where we didn't top 3 runs. That's not a great recipe for lots of success. Although this is better than we've looked to start off the season in the past couple of years. Just in time for our closer to miss basically 60 days. I'm just going to go ahead and put him on the IL for 60 days. This frees up a spot, but also lets him heal up as he needs to. I think it's Mike Boardman time. I think Mike Boardman is the right decision here, even if he doesn't play a big role immediately. Getting some exposure at the major league level is going to be beneficial for both us and for him. So we're going to go with that. We're going to let Mr. Boardman here get some meaningful innings here. Five hits for Mitch Couples. You love to see it. Two of which are home runs. Um, I feel like you're the exact kind of pitcher that I can get without too much effort. I don't really see any benefit to bringing you back. So I will politely but firmly decline. Nice. Juan Salazar got Player of the Week. Brillante. Some players are getting worse actually, like Robbie Reese, which is disappointing a little bit. Other players are getting better. We've got some decent players making some strides. I'm not opposed to what I'm looking at here. I have a lot of catchers. I have so many catchers, like you don't even know. It's a lot. Yeah, Robbers is already on the decline. I don't see him being a key piece of this team for too much longer. I don't know why he's starting now, to be honest with you. He's actually pitching quite poorly. If I traded Rob Reese, would anybody give me anything for him? Like, I distinctly want a prospect. No. Okay. Well, we're definitely not bringing him back. Too early in the season to really make much of the statistical record so far, but I like the direction we're trending in. I just wish we were getting better performances from our starting pitchers. Um, like right now we have two aces, two dog shit starters, and a rookie who's trying to figure out his life. Who's actually got really impressive peripheral numbers. So I'm hopeful that with a bit more luck and maybe some improved defense, we'll start seeing some changes for the better. Sergio Zapata is pretty cold to start this season, so getting him heated up, I think, is going to be an important order for the second half of the season. I love Couples hitting leadoff because he doesn't get on base, but we don't really have a good leadoff type right now. We've got some good players that are doing good things, but we're a long ways away from this lineup settling into what it needs to look like. Thank goodness for Yen Yen Chuko, who's having a pretty fantastic season so far for us. I will happily take 64 home runs if that's what he decides to do this year. I will accept it. Mm. My brain's all messed up because I am going on vacation. I don't think I'm going anywhere. At least not very far. For the next 2 days and the whole following week, like my brain thinks it's Friday, but it's not. It's actually, in fact, Wednesday. Although you're watching it on Friday, so from your perspective, it looks exactly the same. I need an on base machine. I think. Wow, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Boom. Yeah, we need a big on base guy. We need somebody that can reliably get on base every single time he's up to the plate to really make this lineup hum. Because right now, having Couples hitting leadoff, like, yes, he's hitting home runs, that's fine, but it's not where I want him to play. And Infuso is kind of the same player. Ironically, my best on base guy is the guy currently hitting eighth, and he's struggling to get on base because he's not making contact. So, mm, Rivera is getting on base. Rivera is definitely getting on base, but let's go ahead and keep going and see what things look like at the beginning of June. Okay. We are getting some nice improvements here from people, which is excellent news. Excellent news. I could get on giving Frank Moreno an opportunity to be that on base guy that we're looking for, but he's a terrible outfielder. I don't know that he would be a good fit for the club. Do we just get silly and trade him now? Like, understanding his weaknesses, I wonder if I could turn around to get an equivalent prospect who might be a better fit for the club. Like, let's be honest. This guy was an 18th round draft pick. If this isn't a sign of brilliant player development, I don't know what is. I just don't like him for our club because he can't play the field. So let's go ahead and give him a bit of a swappy swap for another prospect, ideally. A roughly equivalent value. I'll take somebody who's got a lower potential rating as long as they're a good fit for the club. I mean, Gilberto Ramirez is pretty incredible if he develops. Yeah, you're kind of mid. You're kind of mid. Rob Reeses isn't exciting. I think a big old thumper like Gilberto Ramirez is the exact kind of guy that we want on our team. I'm not saying that he's flawless by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got such incredible upside, and I think we have a chance to unlock that given our very strong coaching traditions. So yeah, let's do it. I wouldn't say no to another prospect, but I just don't think we're gonna get one. It's not even worth checking. I'll take that. That feels like a good trade to me. That feels like a good trade. I'm gonna go ahead and shortlist both Ramirez and Moreno and just see how they turn out over time. Because I'm curious to see how that'll work. Andres Luna, who even are you? Oh, you're my backup outfielder. Interesting. I genuinely did not remember who he was. Just not even on my radar. All right. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. It doesn't help us that our very best pitchers, Jarvis and Carrillo, are also the ones who don't strike people out, which means we're putting an awful lot of pressure on our defense, which is admittedly pretty good, but it is a concern. It is a concern. And Fuso is starting to get better. He's starting to heat up a little bit now. And given his excellent defense, I'm happy to have him. I mean, Chuko's what we were wanting. Baltastuzzi is having a fantastic season. Zapata's still doing real good, even if he's not quite reaching the heights of the past. It is by no means a given that he gets to 500 home runs. There is a time when I would say that's a guarantee. I no longer believe that. Possible, but not a guarantee. I think he's probably already done enough to be considered very heavily for the Hall of Fame, but it's just going to depend on how the next few years go. Ariola is such a deeply weird player. Deeply weird. Like, his ratings tell me he should be the exact kind of player that we're looking for. But he is just, he has zero power. He isn't making contact regularly. He's supposed to be good at not striking out, and he is striking out at a pretty prodigious pace. I don't know, fellas. I don't know. We could try Brendan Emery and maybe let Ariola play a little bit more in the minor leagues because they didn't have any time in AAA. I think I'm gonna do that. I just think Emery is a better player right now and has a chance to actually be a beneficial addition to the club, while we let Ariola develop at his own pace. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm good with that. Um, I'm gonna try to flip Chris Rainey for a prospect. I don't think he'll ever make the major league club at this point. You're a good infielder, but you're not a very good hitter. You're a good outfielder, but you're not a very good hitter. I'm noticing a theme here. Hmm. Hmm. If we got McDonald and Talamontes, I think I could see this being a decent trade. Like the truth of the matter is, he's just not that valuable. He's a mid-tier first baseman. Those just aren't that useful. But I thought Talamontes was a pitcher. I mean, sure. There was definitely a pitcher also named Talamontes. I remember that. Don't lie to me. Oh, you know what? I think he's actually rated a 39 right now. There he is. Because he's not a starter. Can I get one mid-tier prospect from you? What about Chris? Oh, I can't have Chris Scott. Chris Scott doesn't have enough years in the league. Steve Cooper's nothing special. How do I Ian Siegel's not getting more love from you? You know what? Let's try it. Let's just see how close we are. Yeah, I'm not willing to make this trade. I will drop Siegel and just take this deal. We didn't make an amazing deal. I'm not saying that we actually made an objectively good trade, but I'm saying that Chris Rainey had no value for me, and turning him into anything that might end up being helpful down the line with our player development machine is a good thing. All right. Let's go ahead and call up a new catcher. Probably Caven Kimmins for now, just because I don't feel like calling somebody else up, and I think he's at least a useful backup. Um, Not Lupe Soto. Wait, who is the other catcher? Kevin Ramich. Yeah, let's go ahead and call him up. Like he's not a very good catcher, but he can potentially learn from Mike Bennett and offer us a pretty nice thumper off the bench. So I think that's my play here. Okay, we get Casey Choate back, which is amazing news. Juan Carmona's starting for us, which I'm perfectly fine with. Robbie Reese needs to go. Does anybody want him for anything at all? Any prospect? I'll even eat his salary because I just don't want him on the team anymore. No. Then we're just gonna cut him. He offers. He's been awful. I guess he's been completely awful, but yeah, I just don't see it. Sorry, Robbie. I can try to just waive him and stick him in the minors, but I don't want him starting anymore. Not when I have Casey Choate. So losing Zapata sucks. I'm not on board with that. Jeff Schumo is probably the best choice to take over, outfielder wise. Yeah, it's Jeff Schumo or Jeff Schmo, perhaps. How has oh, we're playing Dave Ormerod at third. Hmm. Okay. I don't like it, but okay. I feel like our miniature values defense a little bit too highly. That's my opinion anyway. Will Ribery's take a demotion to the minors? He will not. Then guess what, nerd? You're being released. Let's go ahead and just re-sign all of our minor league coaches. Like, I see no reason not to. Seth, this guy. And I think we let you walk. You're not that good. You're not that good. I mean, it's just the Arizona Complex League, so like it matters a huge amount, but it is what it is. Lucius Ledgister, fucking incredible. I've already shortlisted him, as I should have. How good is Mike McGovern? He's real good. And I think he was picked 30th in 2038, which means I could have drafted him and I didn't. That is a mistake, it would appear. It would appear. How's our prospect pipeline looking? Do we have? Does it look like we've got some people ready to go? Mike Boardman is already in the majors. Jeff Schumo is, or maybe it's Jeff Schmo. Steve Pratt will be ready soon. We've got a lot of people in the mid to high minors. They're all right around the same talent level, which is pretty cool. But we don't have the stratospheric top tier guys always. Although we've got some pretty good ones. Like we've got some damn good players working their way up through the minor league system. It's just a question of what they're able to accomplish. Darren Heil is really good. We took him in the 6th round too, which is awesome. Wow, okay. All the catchers are being injured. I'm just gonna put him on the I'm not gonna call anybody up because he's gonna be back in because we're gonna Rivera back in 3 days anyway. But that is awkward timing for sure. Oh, and we get Zapata back. Nice. Salvado's been a solidly useful player. I think we can send Shumo back to the minors. We can bring back Zapata and Rivera. All right, Mendoza's ready to come back. He's actually a really stinking good pitcher too. Um, Borman's kind of getting his brains hammered. I think he needs to go back to the minors, and we'll bring Mendoza back. That's reasonable. That's a good choice. Fucking Nelson Escalante, like, holy shit, New York. Take a back seat. Like, okay, bro, you don't have to be that good all the time. Mm. Oh, let's see. Ernie Jarvis made the All-Star team. Chuko made the All-Star team. Baltastuzzi made the All-Star team. Juan Salazar made the All-Star team. Okay. That's 4 All-Stars. I feel reasonably good about that. How did you even get Escalante? You signed him as a free agent. Damn. I'm not surprised the Potter didn't make it, because he's certainly not his normal level of awesomeness. But it is kind of a shame to see his streak end. It is what it is. Um, yeah, Juan Carmona is walking too many people to be a good starter. We might have to do something about him too. Okay, I'm just gonna say Dave Wormerod is not any fucking better. In fact, he is considerably worse. I'm gonna trade him. He's a fantastic defender and has no offensive skills at all, even a little bit. And while I agree there's nothing wrong with that, I don't like the fact he's playing every day. I could just force you to start Brendan Emery and let Dave Ormerod play his natural position, which is the bench. And I think I'm gonna do that. Because alternatively, get rid of Ormerod and just bring Ariola back. And there is an argument to be made for that too. I think anybody's gonna want him. I genuinely don't think anyone's gonna look. Oh my god, an all-field no-hit infielder. I mean, I will happily take Ken McGee. Done. And I guess they're bringing Ariola back, and let him kind of settle in a little bit more. He has been pretty great in the minor leagues, so hopefully this has like helped him regain some confidence, and we can move forward. Darren Heil made it. Mike Boardman made it, and that's it. Damn, that was two big offensive performances. You'd love to see it. A hitter of the week for Mitch Couples. Nice. What do I want out of this draft? I want the best players available. Oh, we take a quick look at our player development report. We just need bodies. We just need good hitters that will figure out a role in the minor league and they'll figure out their role in the major leagues. So yeah, that's what we're gonna pursue. I'm just gonna take the best player that we can get our hands on and not worry about positional flexibility. There's a lot to like about Yarkon Garza here, but we're gonna keep looking. Jonathan Flandro is pretty good. I like Josh Harvey a lot. Like, there's a lot to like about him, but I'm not convinced he's gonna be a great player. But I do like him better than some of the other hitters here because of his high contact value. But I think it's either Garza or Harvey. And I think it's going to be Harvey because so much of his contact is just I don't strike out. And if he can't put the bat on the ball regularly, that's not going to cut it. I feel a little bit better about Harvey than I do about. I mean, there's a lot of choices here, though. Maybe I shouldn't be rushing myself here. Luis Carrillo is a really all around good third baseman. He's just more of a first baseman. But I like a lot of what he has to offer. For sure. If I want a third baseman, Clinton Case is the best choice, although he's another guy that more avoids striking out than hits for contact. Mm. I'm actually going to think that Carrillo is the guy. I genuinely think someone that has this well-rounded a set of offensive tools that's also pretty smart is a pretty good bet. I think we do it. I think we take Carrillo. Mm, he's fine. I think there's a lot to like about him. I like you a little bit better though. I like your I like that you're well rounded and also have enough glove that you actually could play an important infield position. So I think we go for Mr. Guifoncito, and we'll meet his demand. Um, Joel Terra is a terrible first baseman. That's about the only bad thing I can say about him. Sam Sexton, 100 times. I want him now. He's a well-rounded infielder with lots of offensive skills. He's not perfect. I don't like that he doesn't make a lot of contact, but I can fix him. And his glove is so good at so different positions. I think he's a home run. I think he's a winner. I think he's exactly what we're looking for. Let's do it. Mm-mm. He's got 3 mid-tier pitches. I don't see him being very successful in the major leagues. Jerry Nelson, I'm interested in. Oh, he wants lots of money. That's not going to happen. Vern Bailey is a useless center fielder. Sid Irion is okay from top to bottom. Nothing about him is amazing, but he's okay. Let's go ahead and add him to the club. Oh, he wants $2 million. No, that's not happening. I categorically refuse when there's a guy like Joel Detaire who's every bit as decent a hitter for way less money. Vance LeBode. Decent hitter, certainly not flawless, not a good infielder. I do like Omari Bibles, not just because you can say sworn a stack of Bibles, but I think he's actually a pretty accomplished hitter with good enough defensive chops to stick in an important position. I think he's a good fit. Let's make it go. Let's make it so. Can any of you useless fuckers actually play center field? Okay, Jeffrey Gregg is a legitimate two-way player. Legitimate. I'm all over him. Get over here. I'm gonna immediately go to negotiate a draft piece and give you your bonus demand because I think you're that good. I think you have nearly limitless potential, and I'm shocked that you fell to the 6th round. I mean, maybe it's because your first name is stupidly spelled, but that's a pretty bad reason to not draft somebody. And, and I do like Dan Curry. I don't like his offense very much, but I'm willing to give him a shot to see if we can turn him into a useful hitter. All right, let's clear this filter and let's see who's left. Rafael Jose Wallin is not very good. Batting potential. Do we have any high contact guys? Yes, we do. Any high hit tool guys? Yes, we do. Devon Dust is a really good all-around hitter. I'm struggling to figure out why he hasn't been drafted yet. I think we're the team that drafts him. Done. Dune. We need to draft a high strikeout guy. We need to get more strikeouts on our team. Jorge Cisneros, you're in. You are so in. I think the pitchers now are just not what they need to be, so I don't think stretching for a pitcher makes a lot of sense right now. Pete Harms is terrible. Haywood Lordy is fine. He's not exceptional, but he's fine. I think we could get some Haywood Lordy in our lives. He's the Lordiest. Jamie Barclay is stupid as shit and won't work hard, which is definitely an issue for me. Tim Wood is much better. Eric Gross is low-key an okay hitter, and he's got enough raw tools that I think we can make him into a pitcher, so I think he's a good choice. Let's go for it. Let's get after it. He's Mike-ish. He's not 100% Mike, he's just Mike-ish. Frank Cabazzos is thoroughly unremarkable, but there's nothing wrong with that. A guy that's tall should be hitting for power. I think he's a good risk as someone to expect maybe a decent improvement. You keep the ball down, but all your pitches are trashed here, which is not a good enough for me. I can get behind Tyrese here. Oh, you want lots of money. That's why you look so good. Sure, we can take RJ Simmons. We're honestly the part of the draft where it doesn't really matter who we take because they're all going to be pretty similar anyway. You know what? Sure. Let's see if we can turn you into a useful player. Who left has high hit tool? Walt Morris does. Walt Morris, welcome to the club. Who has big strikeout numbers? I'm going to take Tim Foote. I'm going to take Randy Wilkinson. I'm going to take Gregory Weber. And then for our 20th and final pick, I want the biggest bopper still in the draft. You know what? It's Lancelot Hansmeyer. What a name. He's a legit dude. Like, he's maybe not guaranteed to make the major leagues, but he's interesting enough that I want him on my club. This feels like a really good draft where you got a lot of role players and the occasional starter. I think we got some genuinely good players, and I think the biggest sleeper of the draft is going to be Jeffrey Craig. Because he develops as a pitcher and as a hitter, like, he's going to be amazing. But, yeah. Meow. We are super in the thick of it this season. In a way we haven't been the past couple of seasons, which is actually really exciting to see. Mike Bennett's having a really good year, so I'm going to go ahead and send Kevin Romich back to the minors to think about what he's done, and bring Mike Bennett back to be the backup to Alejandro Rivera. Pat McCauley wants to come back. It's not going to happen. Damn, son. 3 home runs coming off the bench. That's pretty exciting. You haven't had a big role in this club this year, but you've certainly made the most of your limited time with the club. That's pretty exciting. Ariola is still playing very poorly, and yeah, keeps getting moved up the lineup for reasons I don't understand. Is Zapata getting a lot of intentional walks? I wonder. It's actually easiest to see on this screen here. Fascinating. Your leader in intentional walks is actually Juan Salazar. It's not Sergio Zapata. Has he just gotten passive as he's gotten older? Like he's just not swinging the bat at all? Like I don't know if he's actually getting worse at hitting or he's just choosing not to hit, which is kind of funny. Hmm. I don't know how you keep significantly underperforming your true talent level, but I feel like we have to just keep playing you until you play yourself out of consideration. Are you fucking shitting me, game? This is the player you decided to hurt this year? Wow. I wish I had what's his face now. Wow. Who's that other first baseman of ours? Was it Contreras, the other guy? Yeah, Contreras might have been the other guy. Mm. Mm. Um, I'm gonna call up Kevin Romich again, and I'm gonna let the game decide if he maybe plays first base for us, or somebody else does. Like maybe Mike Bennett plays first base for us. I also want to get rid of since you're gonna lose him. I know we're gonna trade Pat McCauley. Um, Joe Smell Hughes. No thanks. Tim Butler, also no thanks. What if I ate his salary for the rest of the year? No difference? Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and try to get Macaulay to take a demotion, and I'm going to call up Ivanich, who's actually better than Macaulay anyway, and is also basically free. Basically free. I think they're probably Brendan Emery to first. If that's what they decide to do, that's fine. But hopefully Chuko recovers well because we really need him. This is not just not the best deal. This is fucking stupid. Like, this is a genuinely dumb decision. Just stop before you hurt yourself. That is comically bad that I would take one of the best prospects in the major leagues for a mediocre reliever. I don't know if you think I'm just stupid or drunk or both, but I am neither of those things. I've already lost in the possibility for Mitch Hogland. That is unfortunate. I've always wanted a land of hogs. Yeah, get fucked, nerd. Anybody I want to trade? I mean, I want to trade Pat McCauley, but nobody seems to want him. Pretty interesting here. Not even slightly. Wait, what? Why did you? What just happened there? I don't know why it said he was like terrible. He's not a good player, but he's not that bad either. Yeah, I just said like Daniel Caballero is actually one of the best players in the majors. Why the fuck wouldn't you want to keep Shamar McField? Is it just a cost thing? I will happily take him off your hands, but I have a feeling I can't afford him either. Yeah. Mm. None of these players sparks joy. I have no desire to acquire any of these guys, so I will opt out. Um, I'm trying to see if I can get a cheeky position player pitcher from the independent leagues while I'm thinking about it. Hmm. Well, no pitchers. Let's look at hitters. We're saying that anything I'm going to do in the trade market. So the Winnipeg Gold Eyes have Min-Che Kim for 250 grand. Sure. I think that's a bargain to get a reasonably good prospect. Sally, no way to acquire them. SMH my head. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Jonathan Carmine's actually interesting to me. Omari Housley is not. I reject your trade. I reject it thoroughly. The Pirates traded an awful lot for a medium tier pitcher, but I guess they're not that good. The Pirates appear to be trying to make a run of it this year. They keep trading for older players. That's very strange. Very strange indeed. Oops, I hit the wrong button anyway. I think it doesn't matter because I think it's going to pause anyway because it's saved, but. I did not know Luis Castillo's stat line. Wild. Fired. I beg your pardon. Why is Casey Cho playing first base? That's really what you want to do. Go for it, I guess, but that's weird. I don't know that I want that to happen. Like, I get it. He's actually a fairly accomplished hitter. He's certainly not a bad choice, but I don't want him to get hurt playing first base when he should be starting for me. I took a little bit of distance here if we could manage it. Oh, nice. And we got Chuko back. That is such amazing news. Kevin Romich, get the fuck out of here. How long are you hurt? You're out for 4 weeks. I feel like Pickerin's too important to our potential playoff chances. I'm actually going to go and put him on the IL and call somebody else up to start. Probably Gabe Vega. Yeah, I think it's going to be Gabe Vega. We're going to give him a shot in the major leagues. Because Pickerin's just too important to us to risk long-term injury for him. So we're going to go and shut him down. Might prove to be a mistake, but I don't think it will. We just need to start stringing enough wins together that we can put the AL East in our rearview mirror. I think that's really important for us to have a good chance in the postseason. I already clinched a playoff spot, which is amazing news. Like, that's really, really good. I don't want to alarm you, but Baltus is leading the league in home runs. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I mean, I'm tired of the undisclosed injuries, but okay. Sure. Kevin Romich gets to come right back. 5 hits for Chuko. Most of them singles, apart from a single double. Okay. Injured in an accident. Bruh. Bruh. Not cool, mate. Not cool. Hmm. I don't mind. I don't mind him taking a little bit more time to be ready to come back. We have clinched a division, and I believe we've also really fuckhead. Now you're gonna start some shit at the end of the season. All right, we get Billy Pickering back, which is great. It is good shit. All right. Fine. All right, so we're gonna get a bye, which I think is really useful for us. Playoff roster. Who are we leaving off? I'm fine leaving most of these guys off the roster. Are you fucking stupid? What would possess you to leave him off the roster in favor of fucking Devon Patio? Or Brendan Emery, the guy doesn't even fucking play. Are you actually stupid? I think you're actually stupid. Yes, I know that he is suspended. He will be back. Don't be dumb, game. Cease thy dumbness. Sergio Creo slipping to 68 out of 69. It makes me sad. It's not really that much of a slip. Until next round. Okay, great. I think I can remove Romich from the roster and add Bennett. I think I can still legally do that. Because I would just rather have Bennett, who's actually been a pretty solid backup catcher this season. All right. If we're going to be successful, we have to get our pitchers pitching at their absolute peak. I don't think anyone has a three-man rotation that compares to ours. But it's going to be a matter of each one of them performing the way that we know that they can. Ernie Jarvis got the job done. Was he spectacular? No, but he was really good. Wish he had more pitches, but that's okay. That's all right. Carrillo, nearly an identical type of performance, although he gave up the earned runs. Still gave us 94 pitches, and the bullpen really locked it down. I don't like that our closer got his brains hammered. But I really don't like that Casey Choke got his brains hammered. He just imploded, which is not great. Still could have won it, but we need our best pitchers need to be our best pitchers. Well, Billy fucking Pickering coming in and having a phenomenal game start is truly special. Great job, everybody. Maybe don't pitch Mendoza so much before its arm falls off, but I'm here for it. This is our first trip out of the first round in a while, isn't it? Oh no, it's easier to see on my manager's office screen, isn't it? Yeah, we haven't been to the League Championship Series since 2038 when we lost that amazing 7-game World Series. Unironically, one of my worst seasons with the team is yet the one we came really close to winning. Um, let's see how the ALCS goes for us. We are facing the dreaded angles, I think. I do like that we got Ernie Jarvis set. I think that's really important for us. Oof. I say that, and of course, this is a rare misstep by Ernie Jarvis, who had a kind of a rough start. Not a bad start, but certainly not what he's capable of. A few too many walks. No. Mendoza's given up key runs. I don't like this. I don't like how he just got obliterated. It's because he keeps pitching 2 fucking innings. Like, you don't have to use him this much. I have a full bullpen of highly talented baseball players. Stop making Mendoza pitch 1 or 2 innings every night. Just don't, man. This pitching staff in the major leagues, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, we're bad this season. We are bad in this league championship series. I mean, it's about damn time that Chuka woke up, but we're in real trouble this season. Real trouble. Come on, Jarvis. Close my eyes. See if it helps. It didn't. Our one great strength was our starting pitching, and it just got absolutely hammered by their team. We used Mendoza way too much. Like, Mendoza should not have pitched as many innings as he did, especially when the game wasn't really on the line. Um, like, I'm just gonna say it. This was stupid. This was stupid. Making Mendoza pitch 2 innings for 45 pitches killed our chances of making the World Series. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for him to be pitching that often. When we have a pitcher that's really good like Nate Quinn, that it can very easily handle setup duties. Bringing him in was a huge mistake, and we paid for it. Um, we're gonna have some words, the manager and me, because this is a very ooh, you get an LA series, nice. This is a very winnable World Series for us, and I think our bullpen mismanagement is a big problem. Mm. I am disappointed. I mean, I appreciate the fact that I'm an OTP god, but I'll happily keep Nate Quinn for one more year. He gave us 66 really high quality innings. I think that's an easy choice. Let's do it. A bunch of people retired. We'll have some decisions to make there. Where's Darren Heil now? He's now 5th. Cool. Let's see what went well this season, where we could do better, and what our ultimate downfall might have been. Juan Salazar being the best player on the charts awards is not something I had on my bingo card, but he was fantastic this year. Outstanding performance all around, coupled with amazing defense. If he's someone doesn't win a Gold Glove at second base, I don't know what it's going to take because he had a fantastic season. Chuco, everything we wanted. We wanted a big thumper to solidify the center of the lineup, and that's precisely what we got. I wish he would have stayed healthy the whole time. Over the moon. Over the moon. If this is what Mitch Couples looks like, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that. He's a pretty good shortstop that has enough offense that his glove isn't an embarrassment. I still think there's another level here. I think the wolf that lives inside him that hit 330 and 2040 is a real wolf. But I'm fine with this. Like, this is okay. Sergio Zapata was a great player this year. A great player. He didn't grab the ball with as much authority, and he didn't hit the ball as often as he has in the past. He's by no means cooked, but he is a little bit overpaid at this point. And Fuso had a good season. Although he keeps declining, which makes me sad. And I want him to get better, not worse. Baltastucci had a pretty awesome season. He led the league with 50 home runs, but also with 218 strikeouts. All of our starters actually had really good seasons. Alejandro Rivera was pretty solid. He's another guy that's overpaid at this point. And given that I have some good young catchers, there's an almost 0% chance that he makes it to 2043. I think he's going to get his contract opted out. Ariel ended up having a good season. I still want to see more out of him. I want him to be even better, but I can live with this. I can live with this. Phenomenal season off the bench from Andres Luna. Mike Bennett, phenomenal. Brendan Emery, love it. Salvado was good. Other players, not so much. Pretty great. Ernie Jarvis had another fantastic season. He just doesn't give up home runs and has taken that to a pretty successful career. A cracked 200 innings for the first time in 2 seasons. Nice. Sergio Carrillo just basically did what he did last year, but got more wins, which is nice. Billy Pickram was really, really good. Like, I know his one-loss record looks pretty bad. This is a good pitcher that pitched quite well. That's a beautiful strikeout to walk ratio. I just need the home runs to come down. Casey Choate had a great season. He just needs to stay healthy. Mendoza's great. Carmona was okay. Carmona was definitely the weakest of our starting pitchers. And ultimately, it's hard to see what his actual problem is other than the fact he just got hit. A good and deep bullpen. I mean, Valderrama is hilariously overpaid. But that's alright. It was a really good team. And I think we had a chance to make a lot more damage had we had some better bullpen management. Hey, Mitch. You're on hey, Scott, you're on thin fucking ice. Okay. That's good in today's episode. I hope you all have been enjoying this series. If you are, please remember to like and subscribe, comment down below. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.